Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to do a follow-up on yesterday's video because damn, that was fast. CBS has walked it back. CBS News is going to continue to tweet because they can't stand not being on Twitter.
I know, we just did a video yesterday and I got a little bit upset about them. Like we're gonna re-examine our status on Twitter, given, you know, basically the implications being that all the misinformation and all that shit that as if it wasn't already being spread before. And then now they have walked that back within less than a day.
Yeah, so we can talk about this and we can talk about the trend I've seen on Twitter. All these people saying that they're going to leave Twitter and so many of them not leaving Twitter. And this is, of course, after Elon Musk did reinstate Donald Trump's account. However, Trump said he's not going to tweet. I don't believe he's not going to tweet. Trump can't not tweet. Yeah. It doesn't even make sense. But you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as the temptation is there, I think the possibility of Donald Trump, firing off a bunch of tweets remains very, very possible.
Did they bring Kanye West back too and some stuff?
I don't know. The only one I know for sure that they said they probably won't bring back is Alex Jones. So we're going to talk about this. So many people thinking that they're going to rage quit Twitter. That's going to destroy Twitter. And I actually, all that's happening is Twitter has gotten record amounts of engagement. Twitter is actually very, very active now. When was the last time anybody mentioned Twitter in casual conversation outside of, a news article or something? Yeah. Like everybody now is talking about Twitter.
Usually if they do, it's usually involves like calling out what how full shit it is.
Right. And I think it's going to change. This is genius marketing, if that's what's going on here. Now, the Trump thing was supposed to weed out the bots, but it's also great because now everybody's talking about Twitter when nobody was talking about Twitter other than to cite Twitter as a reason why people should be canceled, why certain people are bad or certain things are bad or whatever.
And then it's another case of things backfiring, because remember when the blue checks went down and they thought everybody was going to be like outraged and everybody was like, they were just happy as could be. Thank God the blue checks aren't here telling us what to do. Woohoo, woohoo. It's all backfiring on them.
Yeah, this had nothing to do. They said that it was about security concerns. It had nothing to do with security. CBS was having a temper tantrum because Elon Musk was going to bring Donald Trump back.
What security concerns? The fact that they just fired a bunch of people who go out there and tank it or something else, but back doors in? Is that the security concerns?
What were you talking about in your DMs? Is there stuff in your DMs?
Is there something you shouldn't have been,
I don't know. So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Almost 281,000 subs. Woo! Thank you so much for the support. Greatly appreciated. Again, this is pretty quick. This, we did the video yesterday, and within 12, 16 hours, they walked it back already. I've seen so many other people on Twitter be like, that's it, I'm leaving. He's bringing Trump back. I'm not going to do it. Then they would come back and they'd be like, well, I need to stay to fight Trump.
But that's it, I'm leaving after I do that. And then they never do.
After they did a farewell tour and the whole spiel now, because where else are they going to go? They're finding out these other platforms.
But they leave. They go there and find out they don't have a voice and no one cares.
Right. And so, and plus, here's the thing. The news cycle is going to kick up again. The anti-Trump news. We've already seen that the Mary Sue's getting ready to hire. I joked about that. As soon as they said Trump was running again, I was like, oh, hot damn, Mary Sue is going to be so happy because they're going to have stuff to write about it again. Yeah, they're getting all juicy with excitement. A lot of these media outlets, they're like, oh boy, the ad rates are down, but Trump came back. Now we've got lots of things to bitch about.
Well, the ad rates are down. They were telling people to do videos and articles on Elon to try to get advertising money. Yeah, so Elon, of course, responded, ha. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. You guys think you're going somewhere. You're not going anywhere. It's funny because we're talking about, CBS, which has always been a bastion of journalistic integrity. I was like, wasn't CBS the one that got in trouble because they put false reports up?
Yes. There was a big brouhaha about 15 years ago.
And then we had Brian Williams said that he was in a helicopter that was shot down, all this other crap. So and now that was NBC. But the point is, these news networks weren't exactly the pillars of journalistic integrity and truth before. And I would argue in the last 8 years or so, it's gotten far, far worse.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's just confirmation bias at this point. Every major media outlet at this point is just a gossip rag.
They don't like focus on truth and journalism and things anymore. And then the ones that did, we saw them trying to put reports out on Twitter, and they got removed from Twitter, or they got kicked off of Twitter for we're finding out these women are having trouble with the vaccine. Oh, they're suddenly removed. Oh, we're finding out this, that, or whatever, or, news about, Hunter Biden's laptop or different things. People in the comments were like, well, that's his dad. His dad isn't him. Right. But there was connections his dad had to him, and there's money and a bunch of weirdness going on with that they hid. So my point is that even journalists that do go out there and try to do their job aren't allowed to do their job, probably get fired, and they get kicked off of Twitter for doing their job too well.
Yeah, Twitter fancied itself the gatekeeper of what was true and what was not true.
Well, so does Facebook. With those fact checkers that weren't even they aren't even professionals. That they're just some people said were fact checkers.
Yeah, and what's going to happen is I think to survive these companies, I mean, Twitter obviously fired a bunch of people, including their trust and safety team, which was behind a lot of this, blacklisting and shadow banning and all that. But I think Facebook is going to pretty much have to do the same thing and be like, we can't take a chance on banning true news because then we're going to get a reputation for being censorious, and the people are not going to use or trust our platform.
You mean the people who use meditation rooms didn't show up to work until they felt like it, and had a wine on tap, and like a microbrew and all the brewery and all that crap on tap? They didn't actually do due diligence and investigate things, but they just banned people. You mean they didn't? That you think that they would do that kind of stuff if they were probably too sloshed.
That requires effort. Fact checking requires effort. Requires being at your computer to do some work. And these people at Twitter did not like to do work. And really, I think
they didn't even want to come in.
No, they didn't want to come in half the time. I think mostly it was like their friends at certain media outlets would call them up, be like, "Hey, fam, yeah, so the New York Post is running a thing that's going to make Hunter Biden look really bad. Could you do something about it?"
Well, I can't speak to Twitter, but Zuckerberg admitted that they suppressed it at Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, we're doing it to make the advertisers happy."
And that's what I'm mad about. I'm not saying that people are taking it as well, you think that's acceptable behavior. No. I think it's all shit. I think there's shit, been done across the board. I'm going to say, though, in the last few years, I'm seeing far more shit out of one side than the other. I'm going to be honest about that. But you're seeing a lot of things, and they're trying to, and the media is trying to pit them against each other. And I'll say it, we have the January 6th thing against the months and months of riots. And I'm sorry, both were wrong. Both should never have happened. I agree that, but saying that pointing out that months of this shit is probably worse than the one day, it somehow makes you a terrible person. No, that's just anybody looking at that's going to say. But wait a minute. They're both bad, but you can't say that this is worse when it was a one-day thing, and there's a lot of question about it. And this went on for months and months and months, and they did the same things. They went into buildings they shouldn't have been into. They were setting fire to stuff, all this other crap. It's not the same thing. And then guess what people are getting mad about? Because you're trying to tell people, you're peeing on their head and telling them it's raining, and people are sick of it. And the media is perpetuating it. So what do you think? People aren't going to trust you anymore. They're not going to believe your shit because you're lying to their face, and they're not dumb.
During the pause, everyone on this app was safe from this.
Yes, pretty much, yes.
So I saw it trending Scarlet and Violet, and I forgot it was Pokemon.
I guess it didn't. It's not very good from my understanding.
I thought Scarlet Witch got a girlfriend.
Don't give them ideas.
Yeah. Vision for Violet. What if Vision and Violet were actually the same person?
I was going to say, it starts with a V.
Yes.
So it could be Vision. Vision just decided when he was doing an introspection to decide who he really was. That he decided that, and the MCU needs more women for the MCU.
Yes,
he figured that would keep him safe. I'm sorry, keep her safe.
Keep her safe.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Anyway, so a lot of people being like, oh, disinformation. I love this. This is what I'm seeing. I'm going to go out here.
Yes.
I'm leaving Twitter, but first I'm going to tweet about leaving Twitter. Then I'm going to stick around and see what everyone thinks about me leaving Twitter. It's like faking your death, right? I'm going to...
Well, that's a little extreme, but okay.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm faking my Twitter death, and then I'm going to watch and see if anybody eulogizes me. Because
that's a really far way to go. There's like a Grand Canyon gap in that analogy.
Well, to some people, this is like death because they've lived on Twitter for years and they don't know what the hell to do. So they're going to, scream and rant and...
I'll give you that one. But it's not the same thing. Anyway, so yeah, this one I like. Journalists who said that you would quit Twitter who are not clearly quitting Twitter. You choose to lie about quitting Twitter is probably your choice to lie about quitting Twitter is probably not going to help with the historically low trust people already had in you.
Yeah, it didn't even last a day. It didn't last a day, right? Honestly, Twitter needs to quit me because I'm not quitting Twitter. Find me on Mastodon. Not quitting Twitter. Have too many people to correct when they go astray. I have seen this a lot with comic book people in particular. They're all like, we're all going to go to Mastodon or back to Tumblr. And it's like, and do what?
And basically they're just telling everyone that they're staying here so they can lecture everybody else. And they're the thought police. And they just announced, we're the thought police on Twitter. And I have to stay so I can make sure I police you and everything you do. What is this, China?
Yeah. And the thing is that I think Twitter now under Musk has a chance to at least get normies' interest. You know, before Twitter was locked out, basically it was just a cozy, safe space for journalists and for tech people and for comic book people, creatives, people that were on the internet. And now I think because of all the headlines that they've created, actually, talking about how awful Twitter is, I think they're actually going to make it more appealing to normal people. And the crazies might get drowned out.
You have 8.8 million followers and only 10 commented on this post before me. You're not quitting Twitter because Elon Musk. It's because your page gets zero engagement because people don't trust your reporting. Yeah, it's probably because their numbers aren't real.
We could talk about this. I mean, this is curious. Okay.
That is curious if it's about Taylor Swift's thing. Ooh, that is very curious.
So here's the thing. This is CBS News, right? Verified, actual blue check, CBS News. Talking about Taylor Swift, which is one of the most
trending.
One of the most searched for stories right now, right? 32 likes.
And 12 retweets and 11 comments. We get more than that making fun of CBS News. At a fraction of the followers.
I get more than that on my own personal freaking Twitter. Just a random, here, I just put the 293, 165. Here's yours, look.
But it was cute.
328.
Here, 430, likes and stuff. And we're big nobodies. And it just goes to point. We did this before with Rolling Stone when they were doing all their political hot takes. We went and looked and they have all these followers, but they don't get any of the engagement. And that to me is a red flag number one, that your followers are not real. You probably bought them with your blue checks. And because you see this all the time and then the engagement doesn't add up. A lot of people just got really sick of your shit, but I'm more inclined to think it's the first answer, not the second one.
I have seen this with pop culture blogs, especially like the Mary Sue, like comic book resources, etc. That supposedly these sites get a ton of traffic, but they get very little engagement on social media. The only time I see a lot of engagement is like with comic book resources when they boost on Facebook. They'll get engagement, but I don't see them getting a lot on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Like people follow them, and again, they've got tons of, probably hundreds of thousands.
But people have legitimate followers will get the engagement.
Yeah. I mean, here, freaking retweeted little Chad who put up pictures of Ray, 146. I mean, how are we getting more than the damn Taylor Swift?
Because our followers are real.
Yeah.
CBS is coming more and more to light, and other media outlets like them, that they're fake the entire way around. And that's why people don't trust them anymore. They don't trust them because they flip-flop. They keep getting caught spinning narratives. Or like we had that one kid. What was his name again with the MAGA hat kid? And then that turned out that all these news outlets ran with the story, but they didn't. They just clipped the video to edit it to be what you wanted to see, and then they're all getting their asses sued and they're losing because the kid's winning because they clipped videos and stuff and took the part out where it turned out that he didn't instigate it or anything else. And they were trying to run with this MAGA hat kid story. And they didn't do their due diligence and research it. And they all got their asses sued because they wanted to hit clicks and they ran with a narrative they knew wasn't true. And because of things like that, whether you agree with what they did or not, because of things like that, the majority of people don't trust them anymore. And that's just one example. We have the vaccine stuff, election stuff. There's so much going on. People their eyes are being opened. They're like, wait a minute, this is not adding up. And then you're telling us it's true. Yeah,
look at this. These are all things that people are searching for right now. I mean, JDF, RIP, 44. He was actually trending. People were looking for stories about him. This is CBS News. What the actual hell? Taylor Swift, sports stories and here, election stories. That's your audience, right? 63, 55. Kanye got 170. Ooh, 170.
I told you he'd return to Twitter.
Yeah, for out of 8.8 million followers.
You know what? Elon Musk, I mean, what like him or hate him, he's not a dumbass. He knows if he unblocks these people, it's going to be all over the news. Everybody's going to come running to Twitter to see what's going on. Even the ones that said, I'm left Twitter, are going to be checking to see what's going on. And it's going to boost engagement like crazy. Yeah. I mean, you can't keep doing it as long. It's going to work for him as long as these news outlets keep letting it. The people that are outraged keep falling for it. But it's boosting it up.
Yeah, I want to see what happens when he purges all the fake followers and he purges all the bots, because I know for a fact that a lot of people on Twitter that supposedly have huge followings bought their followings. I can tell you where they bought them. I can tell you how they bought them, when they bought them. In some cases,
I don't know when, but I know how.
We've seen people go up followers, thousands, sometimes 10,000 followers in a day. Just insane amounts.
Suddenly they have like a 300 follower account, and then they have 30-some thousand followers in like a week with a new account.
Yeah. So, I mean, they get rid of the fake accounts. They'll be like, oh, it's all the good people leaving Twitter. They just left and it, zilched my following. It's like, no, you're going to see what your actual follower count is.
No, they're going to be like, oh, because I'm clearly one of the people that don't like Elon Musk. So all my followers are like that too. And they all just left because they were the better people.
So I have to wonder, will a lot of celebrities, a lot of e-celebrities quit Twitter just so when the snap comes, when Musk decides to get rid of all the fake followers, all the bots,
a good point.
Will they leave so people can't see that, oh shit, they went from 150,000 followers to like 5,000 followers because 145,000 of those were not real.
And not all of them are bought either. Sometimes they're the people they work for, like the studios and stuff, put it on there without telling them and things like that. But, well, it's funny to me because people are like, well, they fire all those people, but Twitter's still running, isn't it? They're like, it can't run without those people. It is. Someone had posted a picture earlier about Twitter before Elon Musk, and it's a photo of all these people. And that's the diverse photo. There's a lot more women, a couple guys, but they're almost all blonde women. And I was like, it's like a copy and paste, kind of thing. But they were women. And then they had, like today, it's a bunch of guys who are very diverse, by the way. And they're all standing there with Elon and happy. And there's some women there, too, in the background. But they're, like, mostly dudes. And they're not white, not all white. And people are going to be like, well, there's no diversity. I'm like, because there's no women now? Or there's still women, but they are all blonde? Is that what makes diversity?
Yeah, it's
more safe from CBS not tweeting today.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, they stopped tweeting. And then they came back and started tweeting like crazy all their stories again.
Yep. Because they I know, right? So here's what gets me, right? I want to know why. I want to know, do they actually get traffic from Twitter? Because I know before, and actually Musk got fact-checked on Twitter about this, that Twitter does not drive a lot of traffic. And I can tell you that's true. Mm-hmm. Again, it's people who have run websites, various websites for 15 some years. Twitter accounts for less than 5% of our traffic. There's more organic traffic. There's more traffic from Facebook. Literally every other. There was, yeah. Then literally every other platform than Twitter. You can get more traffic from. So I'm just kind of like, why are these news outlets so desperate to cling to Twitter? Because it's clearly not driving traffic. There's something else going on. And again, it's about this just really incestuous relationship that they have with each other and with politicians and with companies and with...
Change the subject, but this incestuous relationship you're talking about kind of ties into it. So yeah, that. So Disenchanted is trending, promoted by Disney Plus. So how much does it cost me to promote Clownfish TV to get it trending, like Disenchanted, even though from my understanding, Disenchanted is not very good. But it says promoted, trending by Disney. So you get a hashtag if you pay enough money.
Yeah, we should.
How much does it cost?
I don't know. Hey, Elon, how much does it cost for Clownfish to trend? We'll make it trend. Then other people will be like, Clownfish TV is trending over black gay people because they hate black gay people.
I know there's this narrative out there. We don't even know where it came from. But somehow we supposedly hate minorities. We especially hate LGBTQ people and people that aren't white and all this other crap, even though that's not what we ever said.
No,
ever.
It's over cartoons.
And yes, it's over cartoons.
It's over cartoons.
And the things that we've said we liked, we hate. Because they said so.
We've actually had to correct. I went on a tear the other day. I did. That was completely out of character for me. But I just had it. I had it. We have
kind of like me yesterday on the video.
Yeah. I am fucking done. I've been dealing with these people for years, and I'm fucking done. So I just like laid into a bunch of them. And, one of them, they're like, well, Clownfish TV hates this show and that show. And I literally like screen captured, got into their mentions and screen captured where we said, no, like the Owl House was actually pretty good. And yeah,
we just think they overuse prom and the shipping culture is terrible.
Yeah.
Shipping culture is what ruins shows.
Yeah, but the show itself, the quality, the writing, the animation, no problem with that. Dragon Prince was another one we loved. People tried to say they argued with one of our writers on Clownfish TV who gave a review to Black Panther, Wakanda
Gave
Forever.
it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Gave it an 8 out of 10. He saw it. We did not see it, but he saw it. He reviewed it. He said, look, I'm being objective. It's actually not a bad movie. That was his opinion. We have people, don't believe anything Clownfish TV says about Black Panther because they're just a bunch of liars.
People.
They hate black people and they're a bunch of liars. And it turned out that he actually gave a good review. So I jumped into their mentions and I said, oh, so the movie sucks then because we gave it an 8 out of 10. Then they tried to wipe the tweet. And I'm like,
delete the tweet.
I'm so sick of these people.
Because one person tells these people that we supposedly did stuff. They don't actually check for themselves and they all run with this narrative. And they're just trying so hard. And we have heard about groups that are, telling people they'll get a cookie if they go out and smear us.
There are Discord groups dedicated to trying to take down.
Especially they're in animation. You get a job if you take down Clownfish.
Animation and comics. Like these people think they're actually going to get a job in animation and comics. And weirdly enough, we could probably hire them and pay them better than most of the places now. But yeah, don't fuck.
Oh, no, say fuck you though.
Fuck you, but don't fuck. Yeah, I just snapped. I don't even know what prompted it exactly. I'm just like, you know what?
Oh, they dragged our kids into it again.
Oh, they dragged our kids into it. Yeah, that's what that usually is what prompts my outrage.
So, anyway, back to the point. The point is people are just getting tired, and that's an example of it. People are getting tired of, people have eyes. People have brains, contrary to what media thinks that they have to. That they've actually said they're the tastemakers. They're the ones that'll tell you what to think. They'll tell you the news, so you know what. They had the one woman a few years ago complaining how you had to listen to them, not the internet, because they're the ones that'll tell you what the news is and what to think. They had a video clip of this woman having a meltdown because she was a news anchor, mad that people weren't listening to them when they were spinning their shit. And my point is that people are just tired of it. They're seeing through it. If anything else the last few years have taught us is that you have to keep an eye on politicians. They're out to screw you. And the media, there's all an agenda. There's an agenda. They're owned by the same people who pay off these lobbyists and stuff like that. They're owned by the same people. It's their mouthpiece. And people are starting to see it. They're like, you keep telling us one thing and hiding other stories. And then when it comes out later, people are like, wait a minute. They're not stupid. They know what you're doing. You also can just buy your trending tag and everything else. It's all a game, and it's all about money. And the reason they're pissed is because Elon Musk has more money than they do, and he can control the game.
Yeah, that's exactly. But
it's a scary thing for everyone.
Anyway, are we gonna wrap this up?
Yes.
So it's the craziness is gonna continue, I think, to some degree. I mean, I think that the playing field has been leveled, but I also think that we're gonna see more weirdness now because they cannot stand that Elon Musk owns his platform, that things are going to be rolled back to center like it was about 10 years ago.
This is funny, though. I was joined by two guys. They were wearing Tesla hats. He told me this is Twitter country.
Ooh.
That's funny. Oh, my God, that's funny. Anyway, sorry, you can wrap it up now.
I just
found that funny. Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. And follow us on Twitter. We're both on Twitter.
That's right. And he has more followers than me, and that makes me mad.
Why?
Because I need to win.
Okay, that's okay. Let her win. No,
you did mean it like that.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Ow! I'm sorry.
I didn't hit you for real either. So. No, you don't look like an asshole. Too late. You leave the part you look like an asshole in. You leave this whole section there. You say I'm gonna cut that out later. Yeah, whenever Neon screws up, it looks like a butt. He's like, I'm gonna cut it out.
Could have wrapped it up.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.